The rationale behind Olmo instead of Williams is completely understandable and is a shrewd decision from the Barcelona board. Yet you can't help but remind yourself that if it were 5 years ago, they would have gone for both. This transfer window, Barca spent €57.7 million. When you compare that to the €304 million spent 5 years ago, it's astounding. It is perhaps that reckless spending that has landed Barcelona in the financial position they are now in, along with other things. Analysing their transfer business pre-COVID, it's hard not to see it as absurd, naive, laughable. In 2019-20, their €304 million splash included the acquisition of Antoine Griezmann for €120 million, Frankie de Jong for €86 million, along with €26 million for Neto, €23 million for a 16-year-old Pedri, €20 million for Junior Firpo, and €18 million for Martin Braithwaite. The recruitment of Pedri was by far the most impressive deal in this list, with him now a staple for club and country. Yet it's hard to miss the general theme of these excessive spending windows, the attempt to fill the void left by Neymar. 2 seasons prior, Philippe Coutinho and Ousmane Dembele both arrived at the Camp Nou, both costing €135 million. The problem here is that Barcelona still had Messi and Suarez, 2 indispensable players, so the club was just trying to fill the position on the left wing, left by Neymar. Barcelona gave Coutinho just a season and a half to settle in and produce before loaning him to Bayern Munich. A hasty departure, which resulted in the Brazilian being phased out of the club. This is despite 7 goals and 6 assists in his first 18 games for Barca, albeit with a slightly underwhelming 11 goals and 5 assists in the following season. Yet goal involvements aren't everything, and Coutinho has never been the go-to man to score consistently. Reminiscing, he is by far the profile closest to Neymar that Barca picked up pre-COVID. Dembele arriving in the same season is what made for such a shockingly expensive window. After just 1 season at Borussia Dortmund, where he notched an impressive 10 goals and 21 assists in 49 games, there is no wonder Barca wanted to snap up a 20-year-old Dembele. But all the excitement and promise he showed in his time at Dortmund was shown only in spurts at Barca, an inconsistent wonder who dazzled one game and ghosted the next. The general consensus is that Barca panicked. €222 million received from PSG for Neymar allowed for some ambitious spending, but their trigger-happy investments were too impulsive. The underlying factor is that Coutinho's market value at the time of purchase was €90 million. Barca paid €135 million. Dembele's was €80 million, and again, Barca paid €135 million. With the knowledge that Barca had received such a high fee for Neymar, clubs selling to them ups their asking price, knowing it could be afforded, and Barca allowed themselves to be manipulated. In comparison to their bitter rivals in present, Real Madrid waited an extra year to sign Kylian Mbappe on a free transfer. There was no intelligent strategy from Barca. They needed a replacement, and they needed it immediately, no matter the price. But the price was heavy. Over €100 million was spent on each of 3 players to be the third profile next to Messi and Suarez. None of Griezmann, Coutinho or Dembele ever filled that void and were moved on for a fraction of what they were bought for. A crazy few years for the Catalan giant, which inevitably increased their financial struggles and is a reason why they're in the position they are currently, not having the power to invest in players like they used to. Dani Olmo is an excellent signing, and the thought process behind his acquisition was clearly sorely missed 5 years ago.